Hi, Total Recapped here. Today we will be going through the events of the 2020 adventure comedy movie Dolittle, directed by Stephen Gaghan. Warning, this video contains spoilers, so watch at your own risk. Now let's get right into the movie. John Dolittle is a peculiar doctor known for his extraordinary abilities to talk to animals. He treats both animals and humans, and Dr. Dolittle's reputation spreads far and wide. Even the Queen of England has called on him. Grateful for his help, she gifted him a wondrous sanctuary whose doors were open to all creatures. Although he spent a lot of time around animals, Dolittle's heart belonged to a woman named Lily, a fearless explorer. They traveled the globe, going on great adventures, defending creatures who couldn't defend themselves, and they were an extraordinary team, until one day, when Lily went on a sea adventure by herself and perished. Polly brought Dolittle her ring back, but he became so distraught that he locked the gates of his manor and cut all ties with humans. The movie then flashes forward to the future. A boy named Tommy Stubbins is out hunting with his uncle and cousin. Tommy comes from a family of hunters, but unlike his family, he cares for all animals and birds. Tommy's parents sent him to his uncle so he could learn how to hunt animals and not love them. Tommy's uncle makes him shoot a bird, but to save the bird's life, he deliberately misses his shot, but ends up hurting a squirrel named Kevin. Guilt-stricken, he picks up the wounded squirrel and pleads with his uncle to help Kevin. Tommy's uncle passes him a knife to put the squirrel in his misery instead. The boy refuses to kill the squirrel, and when his uncle and cousin leave, he is approached by Polly, the talking parrot, who leads Tommy to Dolittle's sanctuary. Inside, he runs into Yoshi the polar, who leads him into a trap. Dolittle hears the commotion outside and learns about the intruder. Polly tries to bring Dolittle outside, but having cut all ties with humans, he refuses to come out. As Dolittle and his housemates panic over the human intruder, Tommy is found by a girl called Lady Rose. She is sent by Queen Victoria on an urgent matter. Rose frees the boy and they both knock on Dolittle's door. Left with no other choice, Dolittle sends his cowardly gorilla Chi-Chi to answer the door. Chi-Chi and Tommy freak each other out. Rose tells Dolittle that Queen Victoria has summoned him to Buckingham Palace. The Queen has gravely fallen ill, however Dolittle clearly tells her that he no longer treats humans. Tommy then rolls in and tells the doctor that he has an injured animal. Dolittle isn't able to refuse the helpless squirrel and agrees to operate on Kevin. Tommy and Rose watch in astonishment as Dolittle works his magic with his animal housemates. Dolittle and the animals are excellent at teamwork, and they can understand each other's language. After saving Kevin's life, Polly asks the doctor to treat the Queen, but he refuses. Polly reminds him that the Queen gifted them the sanctuary, and if she dies, they'll be thrown out of their safe haven. Dolittle continues to refuse, but after a lot of back and forth, Polly eventually convinces him to meet the Queen. Tommy asks Dolittle to let him be his apprentice, but the doctor refuses and sends him home. After a brief grooming session, courtesy of Dolittle's animal friends, Dolittle proceeds to leave his manor for the first time in years. Dolittle rides on Plimpton the ostrich to go to Buckingham Palace accompanied by Kevin, Polly, Dab Dab the duck, and Jip the dog. At the palace, Dolittle finds his former medical school rival, Dr. Blair Mudfly. Mudfly was brought by Lord Badgley to treat the Queen. Dolittle and animals find the Queen unconscious on her bed. Tommy also joins Dolittle's entourage to the Queen's room, claiming to be his apprentice. Puzzled by the Queen's illness, Dolittle talks to her pet squid and learns that she fell ill after drinking a tea poisoned with deadly nightshade. It is revealed that a solar eclipse will occur on the 17th of this month, and if the Queen doesn't get the antidote by then, she will perish. The only cure is the Eden fruit, which is on a faraway island. Dolittle's wife died while traveling to that same island. Dolittle takes it upon himself to seek the tree out and bring back the fruit to save the Queen. Before leaving, Dolittle instructs Rose and Jip to keep an eye on the Queen. He also covertly plants his spy bug in Her Majesty's room. Tommy insists on joining Dolittle and being his apprentice, but Dolittle sends him back home again. The next morning, Tommy is woken up by Betsy the giraffe, Tutu the fox, and Polly. They intend to help him escape his home and join Dolittle on his voyage. However, once they get to the docks, they realize that the ship has already sailed. Tommy refuses to give up and asks Betsy to take him to the bridge under which the ship will pass through. The animals on the ship spot Tommy and start cheering for him, much to Dolittle's dismay. Tommy eventually manages to make it there on time and jumps safely onto the ship. Dolittle is pissed at Polly for bringing the kid for the dangerous voyage, but eventually accepts Tommy as an apprentice. Back in England, Lord Badgley sends Mudfly to make sure that Dolittle doesn't return with the antidote. He fears that entrusting the British Empire to a young queen would be dangerous. While on their journey, Dolittle makes Tommy clean the ship. Tommy also learns the language of the animals, which impresses Dolittle, but he stops short of admitting it. Soon, Mudfly and his cronies begin to catch up with Dolittle's ship. Panic ensues. Dolittle summons a friendly whale and jumps in the water. The whale helps pull their ship faster to the island. Seeing Dolittle's ship speeding, Mudfly opens fire on the ship, causing Chi-Chi to freeze in fear and drop Dolittle's rope. Tommy immediately catches the rope and pulls Dolittle back to the ship with the help of Yoshi. Chi-Chi is ashamed for letting the doctor down, but Dolittle assures him that he is fine, and it's okay to be scared sometimes. Dolittle finally acknowledges Tommy and thanks him for saving his life. Dolittle's ship manages to get away. Since nobody really knows the exact location of the Eden Tree Island, the crew first go to an island of bandits called Monteverde, the birthplace of Lily Dolittle, the only explorer who has charted a course to the Eden Tree in a journal. She wrote the route in a journal before she perished. The journal is the only memory of Lily that her father, King Rasuli, the island's ruler, has left. Dolittle will have to steal the book as the king doesn't like him. The king blames Dolittle for his dear daughter's death. While Polly stayed back at the ship to look after the crew, Dolittle and Tommy disguise themselves and manage to sneak into the king's palace. They are guided to Rasuli's room by a dragonfly named James. However, Rasuli has installed bars in his room, which an adult male can't pass through. Considerably smaller in dimension, Tommy offers to go by himself, and he sneaks in to find the journal while trying not to wake up Rasuli or his mini pet lionesses. Tommy gets close to retrieving the journal, but Rasuli and his pet spot him, and Tommy and Dolittle get captured. Still angry with Dolittle for taking his daughter away from him, Rasuli throws Dolittle into a den with a gold-fanged tiger named Barry, but decides to take Tommy with him. Barry has serious mommy issues and a bone to pick with Dolittle for not helping him get over it. Dolittle apologizes for abandoning him and offers to try again, but Barry is set on eating him. James the dragonfly alerts the animals on the ship as Dolittle tries to not get eaten alive by the tiger. The crew quickly come to the doctor's rescue. Yoshi creates a distraction by blowing up the bandits' hideout, causing a pandemonium, while Chi-Chi breaks into the cage and musters up the nerve to fight Barry. Chi-Chi overcomes his fears and puts the tiger to sleep. Amidst the chaos, Tommy steals the journal and runs to Dolittle, but only to find himself surrounded by Mudfly and his soldiers. Mudfly admits to poisoning the queen and seizes the journal before destroying Dolittle's ship and heading to the Eden Tree Island. With his ship, Dolittle's hope of saving the queen sinks. He resigns from the mission and announces that he is going to continue to live life in Monteverde Island and treat the bandits for living. Tommy reminds the doctor that his explorer wife would have never given up. Dolittle replies that the only reason he agreed to do this journey was so he could finish what Lily started. He feels he failed her again, like he failed in the past by letting her go on the perilous journey by herself. Rasuli overhears the whole conversation. He tells Dolittle that he wants to kill him with every fiber of his being, but admits that his daughter loved him dearly and would have wanted him to continue his quest. Rasuli gives him an old ship to allow him to return to the sea, and Dolittle again continues his journey. Dolittle again employs friendly whales to track down Mudfly's ship. The whales lead the crew to the island. The crew spot Mudfly's men already making their way inside the cave and climb up another way to get past the villains. However, Mudfly and his men spot their crew and apprehend them. The dynamics again change when a large dragon appears and starts attacking all intruders. Dolittle saves Mudfly from getting killed, which leads to him having an epiphany about being a better person, only to switch again and push a soldier in the dragon's path before falling down a hole. After scaring away the other soldiers, the dragon sets her sights on Dolittle and his friends. After spotting a dead dragon skeleton and realizing the female dragon has lost her beloved, Dolittle speaks with the dragon in its language and empathizes with her. He tells her that he too knows the pain that doesn't come from a blade or a bullet, but cuts much deeper. Every now and then you feel that pain and it gets hard to carry on. The dragon proceeds to burn Dolittle with her fire, but suddenly collapses. After a brief inspection, Dolittle figures out that she has severe impaction of the colon. With the help of his crew, Dolittle performs an emergency extraction. He pulls out all the armor and weaponry that she has devoured over the years. Relieved by the procedure, the dragon thanks Dolittle and leads him to the Eden tree. Dolittle has completed Lily's unfinished journey. He leaves Lily's ring under the Eden tree and heads back to Buckingham Palace with the Eden fruit. With the queen mere minutes away from death, Dolittle and the animals storm into her room with the fruit. However, Lord Badgley sends his guards after them to stop them from saving the queen. A struggle ensues. Dolittle and the animals fight off the guards, but the mouse takes the fruit to Tommy, who uses it to save the queen. As the queen wakes up, Lord Badgley changes his tune and thanks Dolittle for saving the queen. However, Dolittle's spy stickbug that he had left behind in the queen's room reveals that Badgley is the mastermind behind the queen's poisoning, and he has the vial of nightshade in his pocket. Badgley attempts to escape but is quickly subdued and imprisoned. The queen thanks Dolittle and Tommy for saving her life. Dolittle returns to his sanctuary with Tommy. He has officially taken Tommy on as an apprentice and reopened the sanctuary to the public as Lily would have wanted. Everyone had a happy ending, but Mudfly is still in the cave. He attempts to communicate with bats, only for them to swarm around him menacingly. And that was my recap of the movie. Hope you enjoyed it. Now comment on what your favorite part was, and make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, take care and goodbye.